Look at somebody and say, stay on the wall.
Stay on the wall.
Look at somebody and say, stay on the wall.
Stay on the wall.
Praise the name of God. Give you a backdrop, real quick, of history, a little history lesson. Nehemiah was one of the prophets of old that found himself being born in a time and a season that wasn't the best times of being in Jerusalem and in Judea. Sometimes we're just born in bad seasons. Now, y'all gonna catch that after a while. Because I need you to understand that God has blessed us in our lifetime to just be born in a better season than what was before us. People worked and people sweat blood for us to be here in this season. Some of them, not all of them, but some of them was less educated and had less financial substance, but they were still able to get it done, that we might be able to stand on their shoulders. And one reason is because they had a great work to do, and they decided that they was not coming down off the wall. Praise the name of God. In the time that Nehemiah was born, it was a time of siege. And the city of Jerusalem had been destroyed. History says the walls have been destroyed at least 2 times. But Nehemiah found himself as being a cupbearer for the king. So he was not an architect, he was not a builder, he was not an engineer, but he was a cupbearer. What is a cupbearer? He stood by the king. And when the king was given wine or given drink, he tested it before he gave it to the king. And that's all. In other words, if anybody was trying to get to the king through poisoning him, it had to go through the cupbearer first. See, I need you to understand. See, people, they talk about having armor bearers. There's a reason that some preachers and they have armor bearers. See, there's a reason that they don't call them armor bearers for the president. They call them security, secret service. See, some people are important enough that they need somebody else to have their back. The king had a cupbearer. Now, does that sound like a job that you would want? Well, y'all was quick on that one. I mean, is there anything else I can do? You know, I really won't pass on that one. You know, I mean, they tell you, well, this is a promotion. We're going to promote you to cupbearer. No. Just demote me. I don't want that job. You know. Yeah. Well, it's a good wine. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to tell you, you might not be around to find out if you're drunk. Boy, that's a good one. That's a good one. Y'all ain't got to laugh at that one. My God. Oh, God. Okay, let's preach. Well, yeah, that's still what's going on. Anyway, he found himself, but at this particular time, the king looked at Nehemiah and saw that his countenance, he was saddened, Teresa, and Nehemiah not one to be sad. Not one to be sad. You have some people with that personality that you're not going to find them being sad. You know? You're not going to find them being sad because it's their personality. And then you have some people that you just can't find that ever want to be. Y'all gonna help me preach? Yeah, I mean, can you move the side of your mouth up sometimes? I mean, you just got to frown all the time. You understand? I mean, just sometimes. You know. I mean, you ain't got to even open your mouth to smile. Just smile with your mouth closed. If you can. You know. Oh, Lord. And the king saw that he was sad, and the king asked him. You know. And I need you to understand that there are some things that we go through in life, you can't really tell someone else how they're going to deal with it. You know, because people deal with things different. You know, I'm praying. My prayer is not just going for Reverend Jenkins' family. You know, I got a text that like brother Scott. We don't see him here a lot now, but you know he took it hard, and so now we have to pray for him. See, no, just because you out of sight don't mean that you should be out of mind. See, when people go way back, he can remember certain things that they talked about, the things that they did that helped each one of them through it. Praise the name of God. You know, so when the Bible says we rejoice with those that rejoice, but then we are sad when those that are sad. Yeah. And so the king saw that Nehemiah was sad, and he asked Nehemiah, what is the problem? And Nehemiah said, this is the problem. The walls of Jerusalem have been torn down. And we have no protection. Now he's a cupbearer, but now the king give him the rights to go help build the wall. Sometimes I need you to understand, sometimes we are waiting on titles to do certain things that God tells us in our heart that we need to be doing. But we are waiting for somebody to tell us that we somebody. When God already created you to be who God has created you to be, and you need to be ready to do it. Because if you're waiting for somebody that got titles, it might never get done. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so God began to bless Nehemiah's heart. Now, it was 556 BC that the wall was destroyed by King Nebuchadnezzar. When him and the Babylonians came in and seized the city. See? And this was, the rebuilding of the wall was significant because it was the first stage of rebuilding the nation of Jerusalem. Like bringing the people back together. I need you to understand why the wall was torn down and why did this happen. It did not come by surprise. It was just that people didn't believe the prophets when they began to speak and tell people what God was going to do. Yes. Just like we tell people what God's going to do, people don't believe it. And so Israel didn't believe it. And God told them, if you go to the first chapter in Nehemiah, you see where Nehemiah begins to pray to God for his people. And he asked God, he said, be attentive to my prayer. Yes. Hear my prayer. Because actually everything that you said you was going to do, you did. You brought in a man from a whole nother nation that served idol gods and spread us out and caused us to scatter. And the reason you caused us to scatter because we knew that you was God, and we didn't serve you like you was God. Let me say it this way. We knew you was God, but we waited for Minister Greg to get up and tell us to praise you. We knew you was God, and we waited for Nick to say, praise the Lord. We knew you was God, and we waited for the keyboard or the organ before we could feel you. But there are some people that came to church this morning, started getting their praise on as soon as they woke up with their cup of coffee. Oh, praise the name of God. There were some people that woke up, they cut the radio on, they cut the TV on, they had while they were doing their hair, praise the name of God, while they were trying to find their socks. Oh, praise the name of God. You didn't hear me. Oh, when they got in the car, they already knew they was ready. Ain't nobody had to tell them. Yeah. You know, praise the name, praise the name of God. Yeah. Okay, we out here. Yeah. But I need you to know. And so Nehemiah began to pray, and he said, "Man, King, oh King." He said, "Oh King." You know, you got to be careful how you talk to the king. Nehemiah was very careful with his words. "Oh King, if it pleases you, could I go?" You know, I need you to understand that sometimes, guess what? Sometimes God will bless you just because you're willing to do it and others are not. Y'all ain't heard that. Sometimes God had the blessing for somebody else, but they decided that they didn't want to do it. And just because you decide you want to do it, guess what? You might not even have the capabilities to get it done. But God will give you that extra just because you got a heart and a mind to do it. Instead of listening to the naysayers, and see, there's always somebody going to fold their arm and say, "How we going to do that?" Well, I ain't got to tell you how we going to do it. I'm going to show you how we going to do it. And as a matter of fact, I'm not going to do too much showing you. I'm going to let God be God. Yeah. I'm going to let God be God. Yes. Praise the name of God. Because there have been times that I just looked at God and I said, "Listen, you God." Yes. Sometimes you have to remind him, Frankie, who he is. Yes. Oh, praise the name of God. You God. And you know what you said. Praise the name of God. And so the king allowed Nehemiah to go with some others that had escaped, and they began to build the wall. Now I said that they built the wall in record time. Took 52 days. Now if y'all ever seen the wall in Jerusalem, then you understand. They were hungry. They were working. There wasn't nobody calling in sick. Wasn't nobody going to sick call. Any of y'all military people know how sick call? You know, after a long night, you wasn't sick. You just didn't want to go on that run. I was always afraid to say I was something that I wasn't. Because that thing might come. And then when it comes, you better be ready for it. They got it built in 52. But Arabians and others from other nations found out that Nehemiah was on the wall. And so they put a council together and they asked Nehemiah to come down off the wall and come break bread with them. Now Nehemiah looked through it. Deacon Roosevelt, we were talking about discernment. He looked through it and saw that he discerned that they didn't mean him any good. Sometimes people want to hold you up to keep you from doing what you're doing. Keep you from completing the task that God has given you. Praise the name of God. You know, and sometimes they come disguised like they really care about you. But they're really just trying to get in your business so they can find out how they can stop you. Oh, praise the name of God. But if you don't really understand that, you can't stop what God has already ordained. Oh, praise the name of God. You ain't got to be, they don't have to be with you. They can walk off from you. Just because folk walk off from you don't mean that you won't stop being blessed. And everybody that you wanted to go with you ain't going to be able to go with you. Praise the, you can't carry everybody with you. Praise the name of God. Hallelujah. Praise the name. I mean, that didn't come from the Bible. That came from James Witherspoon. James Witherspoon, the prophet James Witherspoon told me, he said, boy, you hang around folk that got just as much to lose as you. Y'all kept that after a while. Because some folk ain't got nothing to lose. So they don't care. They trying to get what you got. Y'all don't know how many times I've been woke up 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the morning because kids hanging around the wrong folk. But only because, now let me tell you something, sometimes your name is good. But sometimes it ain't your name, it's somebody else's name that's going to get you through. And I need you to understand, I ain't talking about Pastor Witherspoon's name, I'm talking about the name of Jesus. Oh no. Oh yeah. It'll get you through some things, but you just can't call on the name of Jesus just when you in trouble. So now Nehemiah is building the wall and they called for him. And they said, come on, we need to talk to you. Nehemiah saw through it, and Nehemiah knew that he was on the wall for a reason. Because he had a work to do. Praise the name of God. And I need to tell you today that when God began to minister this to me, and I asked God, I said, why are you taking me to the wall? But I remember a conversation that I had with Minister Gray. Remember a conversation that I had with Dr. Nixon. Remember a conversation that I had with Deacon Grant. I remember a conversation I had with Deacon Johnson and Deacon Sam. I remember some conversations that I had with many of you. Praise the name of God. And what came across was that we are a church that prays. And we know what we were praying, Mr. Dennis. And we know that we were praying for God to bless. Many of us had even gone into the place after last week and learning that we can call 911. We had done went into the place of even asking God to do a miracle. Because we believe that miracles still work. Hallelujah. And I talked to different people. I talked to Deacon Johnson and Deacon Austin. They had just left the hospital. I talked to many of you that went by Barbara, went by to see them. Every one of you that went by to see them, y'all prayed a prayer. As a matter of fact, once in Bible study, the question was, what should we pray? Hallelujah. And I'm coming to a point in my life now that I'm realizing that all sickness is not unto death. And so these are the things or the questions we must first begin to ask. Because God will tell us whether this sickness is unto death. Because if this sickness is not unto death, I need you to take your hands off of a child of God. Hallelujah. But if you're going to heal them, I need you to heal them. And if you're not going to heal them, I need you to take them and let Because sometimes we want people to stay for our own selfish reasons. But God knows best. Oh, yes, He does. And as we look at it and we begin to pray about it, I felt a heaviness coming over me because I felt the congregation. They called me and they said, we prayed about it, and yet this thing still happened. God, be attentive to my prayer and hear my cry. How could you let this happen? But I came by to tell you, I know that God still knows all. He sits high and He looks low, but He got all power on the inside of His hand. I came by to tell you that God told me to tell Grant Hill, don't you go nowhere. Don't you be dismayed. But I want you to be encouraged. Stay on the wall. Stay on the wall. You keep praying. You keep worshiping. You keep giving God the praise and letting God get the glory. Don't you let that devil get you off the wall. Stay on the wall. But the wolf cannot see. Just in case you're getting mixed up and you think all I'm talking about is Grant Hill and what we're going through. No, baby, I'm talking about you because some of you are standing on a wall right now in the midst of your family, on the midst of your job, or whatever you're going through. Some of you got sickness in your family and you're the one standing on the wall. Well, I came by to tell you, when the devil tells you to throw in the towel and the devil tells you to give up, you know what God is doing through you. Don't you get off that wall. Stay on the wall. Stay on the wall.